Hi class, I'm Reed Sal, and this is my speech number 3. Go ahead and show you my audience before we get started. So this persuasive speech is over trying to persuade you to get involved in the local church. So first I'll just start off with a few things to describe what I'm talking about. The local church is just a building where a congregation or a body of Christian believers meets. And I'll be talking about Christians here. So what does it mean to be involved? Would just be anything within the church, just to kind of build up the community or help within the church, which I'll get to later. And then I'll get to being the church, which is actually, instead of physically, getting involved, it's living out kind of the church message in your life. And also for non-Christians, might be a little weird because this is geared towards Christians, but there's a lot of places to get involved through the church. We all have the same ideas to help people, love people, and I'll get to that more later. So is church important? As Christians, I think it's very important. It's a place to meet together, talk about ideas, build each other up, and it's a great place for community and encouragement. So for me, growing up a Christian, the church has been kind of like a family to me. And I think it's important, especially for volunteering purposes. It's a great place to come back and, refresh and recharge. I feel if you're always pouring out love and not getting anything back, then it can be hard to keep going. So it's a great place for that. And like I said, with maybe non-Christians wanting to volunteer, it's a great place for resources. So maybe if you're on your own and you're trying to you want to volunteer, but you don't know where to go, the churches have a lot of places that they're hooked up with that you can get involved with. They can get you to places where you can volunteer. So I think that's a great thing in general. So ways to get involved, and I'll start first with getting involved within a church. And so these would be Christians that are a part of that church, and this is to just help the church thrive. And obviously, the church needs people to keep going, to keep things running smoothly. So one thing would be like ministry, and this would be, obviously the first one that stands out is a pastor. But there's tons of other places where you can plug in, and Sunday school, helping out with camps with the youth, trips, things like that. Another place you can plug in is doing worship. So, like I play drums in our college band, and so if you're talented, a talented musician, you can get plugged in there. It's a great way to serve the Lord, serve others with your talents, and that's another place to get involved. Leadership is another place. Handling finances or being a deacon, and just generally pushing that church in the direction that you want to go. That's a big way to volunteer. And then there's just little stuff around the church. Picking up trash after services and baking cakes for certain events. There's tons of stuff. So just go to church and they can get you plugged in somewhere. Another place is for local needs. Outreach to the community. You're wanting people to come to your church, get involved, improve their lives. So that's a big way to volunteer. Help out with other churches. There's tons of people who are in needs. Homeless people, people who just need to get their yard mowed. There's tons of places to plug in. And, just like with our tornado, there's disaster relief that churches get involved in, so that's a great place as well. And then globally, that would be where you come to your missions. And so, people always think about missions as you're going off to this place and getting dirty, whatever. But a lot of missions work is done within the church, giving money, sponsoring people, because without those people, then they wouldn't have any money to go. So my last point is how to be the church. So the church within the culture is kind of looked down upon, and maybe rightly so for a few things, but so being the church is basically living out what Jesus had in mind for the church. So sometimes people will say the church is judgmental, and I mean sometimes people are right, but for us to be the church, it's to realize that we're sinners just like everyone else, and we have no place to label people or think bad about them, because that's where we used to be before Jesus saved our lives. So, you know, we've had a lot of controversy with, you know, the homosexual marriage and things like that, but it's up to us to love those people, and because that's what Jesus would do. Another way to be the church is to evangelize, and sadly, a lot of churches don't do this. A lot of Christians don't do this, and so this is a big place where we need to step up, and that would just be we've found hope in Jesus. He's changed our life, so it's up to us to share that with other people, and you know, it's pretty selfish to not do that. Another way to be the church is rejecting apathy, and this seems like a big one that, you know, you get in your church, you get in your comfort zone, and okay, that's all you do. It's up to us as the church to get out of our comfort zones and be, you know, just like these things, evangelizing, loving people who might not be normal, whatever normal is, but you know what I mean. And so it's just up to us to spread the love that Christ gave to us. So in conclusion, you know, that's what it's all about for Christians, is to get involved in our local church, to build that up so we can better impact the community and show love to them. Thank you, and thanks for watching.